right, and welcome back to Off the Beaten Quests Campaign 1. There's a lot of D&D podcasts out there, but you chose this one, and we are farm to table. So you heard it here first. Thank you so much for joining us in session 68. We are going to be entitling this one, Rough Patches Lead to Smooth Sailing. We're going to get right back into it. Last we left our adventurers, they were at the tavern in Bevel. They had just had a very intense conversation with Verity, and Eira had an embarrassing one with Ammar outside the tavern. And yeah, we are going to jump right back into it and join our adventurers and see what was happening while Eira was outside. So, you all sit at the table in the tavern, and Ammar and Eira had just stepped outside for the conversation. What are you talking about?
Where is my beer? Has anybody seen that floppy guy?
Perrin.
Perrin. That's
Dawn, another beer? Seriously?
Yeah, I ordered one for the entire table.
One for everyone to drink collectively? Just one big... Okay.
Eliana is kind of just like looking over at Verity, like... Verity looks like she is in the middle of a storm brewing.
Does Lukiel notice this?
Like a good storm or a bad storm? Like
Does
a lightning
anybody
storm?
notice this?
Like,
I would say
your ship
what's
will capsize.
people's passive perceptions to see if you notice this.
17.
18.
17, 18. Your passive perception should just be on your sheet. You don't
Yeah.
have to roll for perception.
Oh, my pat. Oh. 15. Yeah.
Oh, man.
15. And Jax's is pretty high, if I'm not mistaken. No, actually, Jax's is 14. So Dawn and Jax tip don't really notice, but Lukiel and Eliana do notice. Verity's a little bit kind of a stern,
On
human.
edge.
Yeah.
Yeah. You okay, dude? What's going on? You all right?
No, I'm not alright.
What? Why? What's going on? What?
I don't know, maybe you ambushed me and interrogated me. Not just me, but Ammar, too.
What are you talking about?
The entire conversation that just happened.
I'm not sure that I'm following.
It was a little one-sided. We all kind of piled on top of her.
Y'all literally interrogated me about my love life, about my pact. You kept asking questions that I don't know myself what I know. And on top of that too, what I'm going through with this entity is not a condition. Because at least with a condition, it can be resolved very easily. It can't happen that way.
Is anything happening with Verity right now as she's speaking about this?
Weirdly enough, no.
And on top of that too, calling me selfish and not caring about y'all's life. I very much do. Dawn, if anything happened to you, or especially you and Eira, the balance would be completely thrown off. I noticed that right after the battle with Thaylorn. And patron be damned if I have anything to say about whether or not just everything. I would give up my life to protect every single one of you. And you don't even trust me.
It's at this moment, Eira walks back into the tavern.
What did Eira hear of that? Any of it?
That they don't, that you heard Verity say that they don't trust her.
Okay.
Well, that none of you trust her.
Eira's eyes are down.
You don't think that I'm not terrified on the daily of what might happen I mean, and Verity's gonna... Does Verity see Eira walk in?
I would think so, yeah.
Verity, like, hand gestures to Eira. She saw my nightmare. You saw my nightmare. I mean, what I did, if... You don't get second chances if you don't do what you are told with this thing. You've seen what happens if you don't do anything, the consequences. If I don't do something, then what happened to that family, what I did, could happen to mine. It could happen to my mom. It could happen to Nadine. For all I know, it could happen to fucking Ammar. It could happen to any one of y'all. And they could send someone else, or for just the shits and giggles, I could be sent to do it myself. Because there are times where I have no control as much as I fight for it. But hey, I'm selfish, right?
Eira is standing there, and I think this is for the first time any of these people would have seen her. She looks and is holding herself like a small child that knows they screwed up and knows that she wants to fix it, but right now does not know how, so she's just gonna not say anything.
And I'd like to think, too, that essentially, like, Verity speaking to all of you, Verity's having to raise her volume of speech above the tavern, like speak the people that are in this tavern and stuff like that. So her voice is kind of echoing above the noise that is in this tavern. And as she's kind of going through her words, a hush does start to fall in the tavern.
Ooh.
And it kind of head fell towards the end of like the last little bit that she said.
If y'all don't trust me enough, then maybe we should think whether or not I should be staying with y'all. Not saying that we should decide this now, but maybe just give it a night. And think of it on both ends, because it's bad enough that I let my own fear overtake me, but for all of y'all, I'm just... And Verity at this moment stands up. I'll be at the Adventurers Refuge tomorrow morning. You can find me there. If not, then I guess I'll know y'all's answer. And she's gonna walk out.
Eira grabs her arm.
Verity stops.
How early will you be there?
Early morning. And she's gonna try and get out of the grass and just walk
she doesn't.
off.
No, it's
Yeah.
it's not a hard. It's nope.
Okay. So Verity storms out of the Glistening Grotto Tavern and leaves you all at the table.
What was the name of the place she's going in the morning?
Adventurers Refuge.
Thank you.
Well, she made a good point on both sides.
Jax just says, fuck.
I know how dangerous this kind of stuff can be because I've kind of dealt with it on my own end, but I also know how scary it can be. I do think we came quite hard on her. Whew.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. But I will say, as she continued to talk, I realized that maybe I don't trust her.
I mean, I'm surprised she would be willing to give up her life for us, even though we've only known her for not even like a week, maybe 2 weeks at most. Not that. Time is weird when you're adventuring.
I mean, we've seen what she can do in a battle. I mean, if she wanted us dead, we would be. I mean, Ammar said it himself, so.
Yeah, but she also said it. She doesn't want us dead.
Is
Right.
there an upstairs or like a balcony or something in this tavern?
I mean, it's the tavern that's like kind of embedded in the side of like the cliffside. There isn't. It's kind of just one like flat floor. There's no like upstairs or anything like that.
Is there an open window or something by a table away from the group?
Possibly.
Okay. Eira's going to go over to that.
Okay.
She said she doesn't want to hurt anybody, which I fully believe. But it's not up to her, is it?
I mean,
I suppose not.
Right.
I mean, just judging off of what we've been able to kind of, observe, could be a pretty decent, assumption to make, or, just a...
Yeah, I know. It's 5 against 1, so we'd be fine.
Eliana does not laugh at that. That is Ali G laughing at it.
Dawn does laugh at that. She laughs at that very loudly. When you say it like that, I guess, yeah, absolutely. I trust her with my life. Sure, I don't care. I trust you guys.
I guess what I've kind of learned from adventuring is there's always going to be a sort of risk. I guess she doesn't pose as much more than what we already have.
That's a good point.
So,
And I mean, if you think about it, you have undead chasing us.
yeah.
You've killed my parents and
Hello.
have other things chasing you.
You say that really casually. I'm
I have
glad you
other
guys
things
are
chasing?
getting along with that.
I'm coping with it. You have a dangerous music, so the last thing you start playing a song, next thing you know, you're going to start playing that song again and could kill any one of us. Eira
I
has
hope not.
a blood issue that could essentially cause her to magically explode on all of us. We all
Ew.
are
Well,
a danger
I don't know
to
if
each
I would
other.
say it that way. That's kind of a gruesome way to, kind of a
We're all a danger
graphic-
to each other. So at this point, what's one more?
What's one more?
What's one more?
I mean, I'm not feeling super hungry right now. I think I might call it a night.
Meanwhile, Verity, as you leave the Glistening Grotto Tavern, where do you head in this moment?
I head to the lighthouse.
Okay.
And I'd like to say, is there a hill? Is it like up on a hill, I'm guessing?
So you go through the city and you kind of head back towards the harbor. And as you head towards the harbor, you see down by the harbor, just beyond the docks, kind of sits the remnants of an old lighthouse. Vines and ivy crawling up the sides, the soft sounds of the waves crashing up against the tall rocks. The door that, as you approach, because you're walking past the harbor and you see that there's like the lighthouse as you pass by, the one that's been moved to the center of the harbor that's kind of more centralized. So you're heading off to the one that was on the edge of the town. You approach a door that is now chained, locked up. Give me a history check for me, please.
Okay. Let me. We're adding history for I cannot read. It's in alphabetical order. 18.
18. You remember a series of links in the chain that you touch. So you touch a couple of different ones, and as you do, the door poof, like goes translucent. You can see through it. And it's permeable.
So I can see through it, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Do I know if anyone inside can see through it?
Not necessarily. You know what's happening. This isn't unfamiliar.
Verity does that, and she's like, I can do this. Maybe. Yeah. No. Yeah. I get yourself together, woman. Okay. Yeah. Please. You've already fucked up. You can't fuck up anymore. Yeah. Well, yeah. You can. Okay. And just walks through.
So as you walk through this like translucent door, the moment you step on the other side, it jumps back to solid and is like enclosed once more. The interior of the lighthouse is dusty and dark. There are some small candles kind of lit in what would be the old light fixtures that are kind of like leading up the weathered stone staircase, kind of leading to the top. Lots of caked wax kind of like hanging off of as if a bunch of candles had been lit kind of over time. But they're now a few of them lit, offering like a small soft yellow glow. Do you go upstairs?
I do.
Your boots making like the small taps as you kind of go across the stones, and it echoes kind of up the lighthouse itself. As you approach the top, these stairs open up into the kind of like glass-lined lighthouse, like light housing that used to be like hold the light mechanism. And it's now gutted and empty, but there are some benches and tables that have kind of been brought up to the top. And sitting outside, kind of leaning against the railings, looking out into the town of Bevel and the sea, is Ammar.
Verity's gonna go stand next to him.
And he notices your approach, and he turns smiling and says, I wasn't sure if you'd come to see me.
Yeah, well, I like to keep you on your feet every now and then.
Instead of sweeping me off of it.
No. I got a few dance moves still left in me.
Is everything all right?
I gave the group, I guess, sort of an ultimatum. We're all gonna decide whether or not I should be getting on that ship to Rivermire tomorrow.
Kind of nods and just kind of looks out into the coastline, and from where you're standing, this is like a very picturesque view. You can see the sea kind of far out. There's the large mountain kind of sticking up in the middle of the sea, kind of where you know Draklavor to be, as well as to your right, you can see like all of Bevel, like the different lights from different houses that are still open and some businesses that are potentially closing down as the hour grows later into the evening. This is a place that you've been before. You've been here many times with Ammar. And he, staring off into the sea, he says, it's crazy how we got here.
It is. Lots happened in, 6 years? 5, 6 years?
Yeah. It's crazy to think what's happened in just the last couple of weeks.
I'm sorry about your father. I don't think I ever said that.
I appreciate it. It's something that you never expect, but is inevitable.
Still, it's never easy losing a parent, no matter how old you are.
Well, I'm glad that you haven't had to experience that feeling yet. And I hope that you don't for much longer down the line. That you're able to spend time with your mother. I know it's been hard. Given everything that she's been through.
I'm thinking about ending the pact.
Is that even possible?
I'm not quite sure. I talked with the Emperor of Bountifolia. He said to think outside the box.
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't. Thank you for, because like I didn't know either. It was very vague, and like everyone's like, "Oh yeah, we totally understand you." And I'm like, "What? No."
And Ammar's expression is very like kind of wide-eyed, he kind of almost sort of clicking in his brain, kind of with the implications that could mean, given what little he knows, kind of about your pact.
But I know that in doing so, I mean, Mom's gonna die. But I mean, she's not really living right now.
I mean, there always is another option. We've talked about this before, and I don't, need to raise old wounds, but it's an option.
I don't know how it would affect the present though. Cause I was able to see like the magic that like courses in her veins from the pact. And it's strange, and it made Eliana go blind. She lost her magic for a while too because of it.
Your friends, they seem to be quite the characters that you've found yourselves with.
Didn't have a problem until tonight, or at least I thought we didn't have a problem.
Oh?
Just all the freaking, just the ambush.
Yeah, they did seem to be inquisitive, is a word.
That's putting it lightly.
I mean,
Oh,
how are you holding up, all things considered?
I mean, I don't even want to know what they were talking to you about.
I mean, if anything, you're the royalty amongst your friends was concerned for my health, be it misguided. No thanks to your interesting joke the first night.
Verity just burst out laughing up at that. I know I apologized the other night, but damn, I really thought I got across to her. Did you at least tell her that it wasn't? Because I clearly can't get across to her.
Spending some time as a diplomat, you learn to let people have their own opinions about things and information, and they'll do with it as they see fit. It concerns me not, for I know the truth, but...
You would tell me if you had hemorrhoids, wouldn't you?
I mean, I guess. I don't know if it's a point of contention, but...
Fair enough.
Did you at least just say what you needed to say to them?
I got what I wanted to say off my chest. Don't know how good I feel about it, but at least it's out there. They can make their own decisions.
What'll you do if you decide to stay?
Not quite sure. Maybe. Well, definitely still doing research. See what more I can find on Erebus.
Is that its name?
It is.
Interesting.
Can I make an insight check to see body
Sure.
language or
You can-
something?
sure. Yeah.
There we go. Son of a. Okay. Would that be insight or perception? Okay, 14.
14. Without adding any modifiers, he only rolled a 6. So, let's see. I think it's a plus. Anyway, he has a +7, so either way, but it's like he's there's nothing behind it. He's being truthful as far as his curiosity amidst the.
Do you know anything about it?
No more than you do. If arguably less.
Supposedly, like from what I. Wait a minute. And she's going to pull out the book from
Okay.
her bag. And she's holding this thing showed up in a library in Bountifolia.
I would think books are found in a library, but go on.
A black binding that's like shining light on it. Like that's out
That's-
of like a book.
Peculiar.
Yeah. But in it said something about how like wizards and clerics and like did a half ritual. And like it only halfway worked, but now it's like stuck in between. Like planes. And it also likes people in despair, so it found a juicy meal, and she like points to her.
That sounds about right.
So, yay! I'm fucked.
Well, I'm sure you'll figure it out. You're quite resourceful, as I've seen time and time again.
Am I?
I'd like to think so.
That's sweet.
Damn. It's like when they say, I love you, I go, that's nice.
You too.
Damn.
If anything, and if the brief moment I've gotten to meet the people you're traveling with, if they're any smart enough that they'll stick by your side, and I'm sure they'll help you figure it out.
Hopefully. It's weird knowing them for such a short while and having this, like, just the instinct to protect them.
It's quite funny, isn't it? And he, like, smiles and looks at you.
She smiles at him.
Often the ones that don't need the protecting, we have the instinct to protect them. Sometimes we just can't help it.
She's just looks out like at the view and all, just taking everything in.
You know, I'm I'm glad we got to speak while you were back, at least. And if you're gone for some time, I'll at least be glad that we had this. And he puts his hand, like, on your hand that's on the railing.
I let him, and then she, like, looks over at him, and
And he
Allie.
looks over at you and kind of stares into your eyes for a moment.
you should know why I never gave you an answer.
Oh?
I wanted to say yes at first, but it just... I remember back when they came to our house, when they told my mom about what happened to my father, and she tried to hide it so well. But I had to watch her as it almost slowly broke her in two. Just loving someone that much. And I didn't realize just how much that I loved you in that moment. And I knew that just if anything ever happened to you, I don't know if I could pull myself together like she did.
He puts his hand on your shoulder and he pulls you in and kisses you.
I kiss him back.
Oh, it's consensual.
Yeah, I
it's
can't think-
reciprocated.
I've been holding my
I was
breath
like,
for
what
like
is
5
this?
minutes.
I know, I can't hold it any longer. I have to say something.
That build up, man.
We were all reacting so hard. Silently.
And in that moment, you guys kiss for a moment, and we're going to fade to black there.
Damn.
Cutting back to the main party.
They're more than kissing? Is that the fade to black?
We don't know.
That's
Oh my god.
Nobody said that.
They're like out in the open, dude. Someone could just walk up, be like, "Hey,
Not-
what's up?" Oh my god.
They're
Some
like
people are into
100
that.
feet into the air. They're like 50 feet in the air in the top of a lighthouse.
Only with Verity's permission.
You're telling me you never looked you never looked to see what was in the little window of a lighthouse before?
Speaking
But can
of,
you, if you can't see that far.
I mean, if you're on the ground.
Anyway,
You can't.
anyway, back at the party.
one thing I wanted to say was that if you are being sexually active, he should definitely disclose whether he has hemorrhoids or not. Just saying. That's just
Root
some-
cause.
I-
Root cause.
Anyway,
Root cause could put others at risk.
Fun fact, I did have
Are
to
we
look up.
confusing hemorrhoids with something else?
I think we are because
think
I had to look up hemorrhoids 5
hemorrhoids-
minutes ago just to make
hemorrhoids
sure.
And herpes are not the
Not
same
the
thing.
same.
Yeah, they're very
Anyway.
different.
Anyway.
Yes.
Anyway.
However, it can be caused by pregnancy, so you should probably ask him some questions.
Anyway,
just in case.
anyway, back at the party, you had just said that you were wanting to turn in for the evening.
yes. I think I'm gonna just head out for a bit. I think I need some time to myself for a little.
Where?
Outside.
Where outside? There's a lot of things outside. There's a lot of places you can go. You're not gonna get lost, are you?
No.
No. You sure?
Yeah.
Do
I
you
don't know
want-
if any of us have the energy to want to come and find you. So
Do you want me to go with you and walk behind you like 100 feet
I mean,
for safety?
Scary dog privileges.
I guess.
Woof, woof.
I'm kind of just gonna try and go talk to her, up in the sky.
Yeah. I can stay 100 feet away.
Okay.
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 Well, I guess
All of us.
I'll
So
just
you all
be
essentially
here.
are getting up from like the table and are leaving like the
Eira's at a different table.
Aira's at a different table, but
look out the
Eliana
window.
and Dawn get up from the table to go to leave from the tavern.
Because I protected her so well last time.
Well, what if I don't want to leave?
So
I was just chilling
then
here.
stay and
We can
make some
stay.
friends.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Boys'
matter.
night.
Part 4.
The saga continues.
So the two of you leave the tavern. Jax gestures to Lukiel and kind of to follow him as Jax gets up. And do you follow?
Yeah. I mean, if he's gesturing, then
Yeah.
yeah, I'll follow.
So the two of you walk over in the tavern and sit at the table that Eira's sitting at beside the window.
Yeah. What can I observe from, like, just would I be able to tell like her demeanor just like by like?
So you
just,
want to tell her body language?
Yeah.
Give me an insight check. And then you
fucking
Eira,
cocked.
can roll deception or persuasion.
It's a 9. Definitely gonna be a 9.
Jax is very much not reading the room and rolled a natural 1. So,
My girlfriend just got up and like walked away.
So it's 12.
Yeah.
so 12 and yeah. So
yeah.
we both don't know the.
We're clueless.
We're
boys.
not reading the body language here.
Yeah.
And so
Damn.
yeah. So we.
I mean, I'll just tell you. I mean, she's in her head, and it doesn't matter. Like, and I feel like Lukiel's been around her long enough to know that like you're not. You can try to talk to her, but you're not going to get a response right now. And it's not
then
personal.
I feel like I would have just ended up using just passive insight
Okay.
for that because it's. I mean, yeah. Ultimately, it's just like observing.
Jax is
Maybe. I mean,
passive.
maybe. I don't know if that's,
Yeah, my passive insight's 18, so
I mean, you can roll a natural
yeah.
1. Like you would have seen that.
Yeah.
She's not hiding it.
Well, Jack still sits down. You can do the same, or you can decide to do something else. That's up to you.
I mean, I don't know like what else I would do in that moment. I guess say like,
And
oh well, actually no. I would see, but I don't know if I would have the context to know
Find
anything
out.
about the conversation with.
Find out.
ask what you want to ask.
Well, Lukiel asks. He goes, "Do you know where Verity went to? 'Cause she didn't. I guess she's just kind of left. I don't really know why. She's been gone for a while. Sorry, I don't mean to grill you with questions. I'm just kind
response.
of curious.
Well, wherever
Did,
she
did
went.
you you and her like talk or like interact or
You were there. You were at the
I
table.
was there.
You were there.
Yes.
You understood that.
Yes. Lukiel does not have short-term memory loss.
It was a hard conversation, man.
Yes.
And wherever Verity went, she needs space. And we just can't leave
well, not too much space. We can't.
one of our party members alone sitting at a table in the tavern. It's not my girlfriend. I'm not going to just leave. So
Well, what about that Ammar dude just being out there? What do you think he's doing, getting all into?
I'm sure they're fine
You
if they cross paths.
Yeah, probably.
There's a history there,
More
I'm
than
sure.
fine. I'm sure. I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
I think we needed to figure out, what's going through your head? So he looks to Eira.
No response.
Yeah.
She is not like, she hasn't heard any of this conversation.
At all? How?
It's right. She's not listening for it. She's in her head.
And Jax like kind of like puts his hand on your shoulder and kind of like jostles you a little bit to kind of get your attention or to try to like snap you out of. And says, "Hey, come on. You tell me the same thing. Where are you going?"
And I learned that giving you space is sometimes best. And she gets up.
Yeah, and when have you
And
listened
she
to
walks
that?
away. And she goes outside. He can choose to follow her and he will have a conversation with him. But she is not going to broadcast where she is psychologically to a larger group.
Well, now it's just the two of us, I guess. And then there were two. Want to order an appetizer? Maybe an entree if we're feeling up to it. Some onion rings. I don't know if they have those here. I don't know.
Let's see.
She okay?
No, she's not. She is going through it.
Do you want to go like be with her, or do you think that she just kind of needs to just kind of have her moment?
Here. Hey, parent. And the dude like kind of hops back over.
Yeah.
And he kind of like says, "Oh, what's up? What do you need?" And he says, "Get my man some gruel, butter, and white bread served with buttermilk."
DM has opened
I
up
rolled
the
a
random
D1 on
table.
your table. And that's what it rolled. I'll roll again. That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fucking dairy.
That sounds like a bad time.
Bad time, yeah.
Sounds like a bad time. Here, give my man some venison sausage, carrot pottage,
venison?
grapes, and served with some lager. And he says, "Yeah, right away." And he kind of heads off. He's like, "Here, you eat that. I'll be right back."
Okay.
Damn, serving you a full.
He's like,
Eat this yourself.
Give the kids some food and go away.
He's letting the
Walk away.
food babysit him.
he's gonna have a beer. He's fine.
Yeah, he's gonna be fine.
Luke Hill's like, is this on you, or is this... Because I
And
didn't
he-
order this.
And
I mean,
Jax
this
just
is...
puts down like 15 gold on the table. And walks away.
That's a lot of fucking gold. I
so
feel like they could
much.
probably get more than that. More food for...
He goes, "Go nuts," and he like walks. He kind of goes out and leaves the glistening grotto to follow Eira.
Luke Hill's love language is not just food, okay?
No, but it's a big part
It
of it.
could be more.
It could be.
He says as he shovels food into his
He
mouth.
shovels
He's like,
food
"I
and he's
want
like-
you to know."
Food is not... Oh, man, this is good. Wow.
So Jax
I'm just going to play into it.
follows you out and tries to catch up. And he says, "Hey, wait, can you wait a second?"
And she stops to check to make sure that it's just Jax.
And he like, "I get that you don't want to talk to anybody or all of us or whatever, but can you at least talk to me?"
And she's not making eye contact, but she kind of like gestures her head. Like, come on. And she starts walking pretty,
Okay.
like, I wouldn't, leisurely is not the correct word, but leisurely is the pace.
Okay.
And she's quiet for, this music is very jovial.
Unfortunately, there's a little bit of a polarity when it comes to the music choice. I apologize.
How did you face it with Aura? Because when
Aurelia?
I look at Verity, I see a more self-actualized version of her. And
I think that's a bit of... That's giving Yoon a lot more credit.
Verity is the more self-actualized one, dear.
I know, but to compare, it's like apples to oranges. I don't think they're quite that similar at all.
I mean,
I think
I
if you're
find them
talking as
to
far
be-
as the danger aspect, but
No, I find them to be very similar. They don't... Both of them are so scared of what they could do that instead of either trusting themselves or trusting those around them, they isolate. Whether that be emotionally, or for Aurelia it was personas. For Verity, it's just timidness and shyness.
I mean, everybody has their quirks. I mean, you're a bit of a prickly pear when I first met you, but
Well, that hasn't changed, unfortunately.
you've been better about things.
Mm.
It just seems
Tonight wouldn't have happened if I'd truly been better about it.
I think tonight you have valid concerns that, right? Like, everybody can be worried about dangerous.
I'm not worried
Things.
about her doing anything, though.
Then what are you worried about? Because, to be quite honest, if it's because you're mad because she isn't opening up to you,
I don't want to lose her because I already lost Aurelia. I don't want to lose another one.
we have dealt with a lot of loss in this group, and to be quite honest, I'm surprised that we're as kept together as we are.
We're not, though. This isn't the same group. This is a completely different group.
I mean, we lost Roman. He's not dead, but he's not here. Cindy didn't stay with us.
Okay, that's not fair. Her mother died and she stayed with her father. That's hardly fair.
But again, people leave, they die. The only difference is that they could come back, maybe. I think
I feel like I lost someone that was becoming like a sister to me. And Verity, clearly, for some reason that I don't understand, trusts me a lot. And I don't, again, know why. And I can see a clear path forward where we could be even closer than Aurelia and I were, and that is the part that is scary and where I feel like the problem was, and I chose to love her the way I have traditionally been loved until recently, and she cut her eyes to Jax, and showing that by just dumping what I think to be right on someone, and it's not. So
pushing him away is the answer?
it's not, in my head, it's not pushing away as much as it's...
I mean, she's questioning if she's even going to continue on with us, or if we're going to let her continue on with us. I think there's a bit of an arm's length.
She assumed me to be the leader of the group when she first met us, so I am gonna give you a heads up and flex that tomorrow and kind of fight that fight with the party if I have to, because I've been fighting her to join us back. If she chooses to come, she can stay and, be with her mom or Ammar or whatever she wants to do. But if she chooses she wants to come.
Well, I think it's safe to say that we're not going to let her just leave us.
Well, Dawn didn't seem to be too hip on the idea, but if I have to take a 8-foot paint purple on my own, I will gladly do so.
Dawn doesn't seem to have a hip with a lot of things. Sometimes.
Except beer.
And killing people, apparently. Sorry. Too real,
So.
I guess. I mean, in all fairness, the Eira that you claim to still be wouldn't be as self-reflective, at least.
I always have been with those that actually matter.
Yeah, and who's to say that the people that we have with us don't matter? What's wrong with that? I get that you're scared to let other people in. Trust me, I am the first to understand that.
Oh, it's not letting her in. She's already in.
Yeah?
Just letting her go. That's the problem.
I mean, and we don't have to do that, but you also don't need to push them away either. Pushing them away is going to mean that you have to let them go, and it's not going to be your choice versus something you want to protect.
She's starting to get frustrated because she doesn't feel like she's being understood. She doesn't know how to, clarify
I get that
what she means.
You don't want to lose her, so you're afraid to get close to her. Because you don't want to lose her eventually. You don't want to have to deal with that loss again. I get it.
No.
Then help me understand.
I don't think it's a conversation that I know how to have right now.
That's fair. So what do you want to do? You want me to leave you alone? We all have to make our way. I mean, you and I are literally staying with each other, so.
I think I just want to walk for a while.
Okay.
Is Augur with me, or has he...
He's still been with you. I think. Yeah, you didn't put him back in the box or anything, so he's still with you.
I feel like he's probably frustrated.
Yeah. He's been not vocal, whichever that means as far as a rabbit is concerned. Well, and then Jax kind of kisses you on the cheek and kind of just nods and kind of walks away back to the tavern.
Oh, she's going to go look for a park or something.
Okay.
Just sit down.
You kind of head off into Bevel to find some kind of solitude. What's happening with Eliana and Dawn at this moment?
Eliana's kind of just trying to find almost a little I feel like she wants to be kind of by the coast, by the water,
Okay.
underneath the stars. Why are you laughing over there?
Are you going to accidentally
No.
find the lighthouse?
No.
No.
No. Catch them fucking.
That wouldn't that be leave them alone. Focus on what you're doing.
And I'm going to kind of just nestle down, crisscross applesauce, and I'm gonna have Stella sit down in front of me. I'm gonna give her some scritches.
Okay.
I'm gonna put my forehead against her head, and then I'm gonna look up at the stars, and just start to try and meditate, to commune with the world, with nature.
Okay.
And I'm just going to say aloud, I guess, I guess not like super projecting, but just kind of trying to speak to Flossidus. Something like,
Hey, Flossidus. It's been a bit since I've reached out. I just wanted to ask if you could look out for some people for me. My mother and my sister. I wasn't able to hear back from them, and I was a little fearful that they might be in danger, but I know your stars don't really reach them out there in the Dayward lands, but...
And you hear in this moment, you
Hey.
hear a very faint, like, it's like almost like an echoey version of somebody saying your name. You hear like, Eliana? And it's like staticky. It's like you can hear a little bit of a crackle.
Oh.
Give me a history check.
Okay.
okay. That is a 16.
You recognize this voice
What is it?
to be your sister. And it says, and it's very like crackling, it says, Eliana, it's we got Mom is dead. Florenia, but we found Crossroad in the where. And it goes silent.
Eliana is just frozen in like sudden fear. Because she doesn't know what was happening between the static, but she heard the word dead. And yeah.
And I would say, piggybacking off the same history check, right? You are very understanding of what the sending spell is, and that it's the 25 words, essentially, how small the messages are, and that was only 14.
Mm-hmm.
Can Dawn make a perception check?
It all happens in her head, so you wouldn't have heard it.
I know I wouldn't have heard it, but the whole reason I'm there is for the vibes.
Okay, go ahead.
Like 100
If you're reading her body language, it would be insight, though.
insight. Then that is what I would like to do.
I didn't even finish. I was going to ask
It's only a 9.
there to watch out for Verity, too. We didn't get there, though.
It's just a 9.
A
I'm essentially
9.
there as her bodyguard, so
Yeah,
I'll probably
so-
make more inside checks.
What's happening with Eliana by the coast is almost like a very silent storm of emotions.
Flossidus, please. Please make sure they are all right. Please.
And you see, like, in the stars, kind of, because it's like a little bit more of a clearer night, you see like this, like, kind of like shooting star, like, kind of like go across the sky.
Well, thanks for trying to get that through to me. I know she's been blocking messages, so it's good to hear at least a portion. I guess also I'm not sure how much you would have seen since we were in the tavern, weren't really outside, but our newest party member, we're kind of going through it, and she's also dealing with a power of her own, and she might need some help with you as well. Just watching over her. Need a lot of help from you. I know it's a lot to ask, but thank you.
She just kind of sits there for a few moments before getting up and walking back over to Dawn.
Okay. You say anything to Dawn?
So, remember when I went with Eira to the post office to try and send some messages?
Yeah.
Just heard back a little bit
Okay.
from that. I got snippets, not the full messages, but my sister Lillian responded.
Great.
She said, Mom, and then some crackling, and then she said, dead. So I don't know what sentence she said. There were some blanks there, and that's a little, more than a little, very nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I'd say so. What are your... Ooh. What does that tell you?
What?
You know, your... Ooh, and the stars and the flowers.
Oh, my goddess Flossidus.
Yeah. Her. What'd she say?
Well, she didn't say anything necessarily, but I think she helped get the message through that the bad one is blogging. So, she at least did that. Yeah.
So how do you feel?
Not great.
But are we about to reroute? I mean, we went to one person's hometown. Technically, we
I-
don't know where my hometown is, so...
Well, my sister mentioned a crossroads, but I don't know where that could be. They just pop up randomly. So they can shift and move, and there's,
Make another history check.
I know there's specific places
Crossroads
where
is
they're
like the-
rooted, but you can change. They change a lot too.
That's like the portal, right?
Yeah.
Make that history check. Make that history check.
19.
Whoa!
You
Ouch.
recognize the word Luare
Luare.
as
Where?
a town in the continent that you are heading to. You had
Fuck
seen it
yes.
on
Okay.
Well.
the map. It was on the map of Bogmarsh.
Wait, you
I
heard
feel
that
like
in the
you,
message?
I feel like you said that in the message, but I didn't recognize what the word was, so I kind of just
Oh.
It was
washed
Luare.
over
That
it.
was the word. Yeah, the word was Luare.
but I think the crossroads might be in Luare, which was on the map
Where?
to kind of around where we're going.
What is it?
It's a place in
Bogmarsh.
In Bogmarsh. I have it on the map that I drew.
What's the
Very rough, but
What's the place called again?
Luare.
I was gonna try and do a whole bit with the plan words of where.
Like where
but,
and the where.
She did
saw
not pick
the
up
thing
on
you
it.
were going. I saw
was
it.
thinking
I
the
She was
saw
like,
exact
it.
same
it's a
thing, but I'm-
town. I was like, dang it, say it again.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, but I'm not there, so I can't.
Anyways,
Trying to make somebody say underwear.
Luare. Let's go there. Shit, this is gonna be.
Oh,
I hate this town.
I pull out the map and see if it's on the way to where we're going, because we're going to Rivermar.
So you see on the map that
Let's go there.
Rivermire is on the coast,
Mm-hmm.
and then there next to it is Swamp Tree, and then or to the west of that is Swamp Tree, and then kind of southwest-ish is Luare on the opposite coast of Bogmarsh.
Okay.
At least that tip of
So not near the
continent.
Nocturne
not-
Mountains
yeah.
either.
No.
Okay.
So we have to go here and then there to get to where?
There's a crossroads somewhere in Luare that has opened up from the Feywild.
I did not do that on purpose.
Just drop it.
Did you think about this when you named the place?
Drop
that it
in
might
all of
have
my-
the possibility of being like
I did not.
a focal point of like, oh, it sounds like where.
This
I
is a
did-
teaching
I
lesson
did
for my
not.
DM.
But
Luare, over there.
So I don't know. We should discuss this with the party to figure out where we need to be going.
Are you gonna leave us?
I don't know. Probably not.
Okay. But I
If
don't
it's
know.
like
Was
an-
not.
If it's an emergency, maybe. But
Can you send another message? Do you know?
I can't send a message. I don't know if there's any services. Was the post office not here? That was in Montefolia, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if they offer any sending services here.
Well, maybe we can check in the morning before we...
Maybe.
Maybe.
Well, I just know I have a lot more information than I did before this. More than I was expecting. So,
And possibly even information you didn't want.
yeah, we'll see if we'll be able to meditate tonight.
Okay. Do you want to head back?
Yeah.
Let's go. Dawn puts like a hand
I
on
can
her.
teach you about how the constellations work sometime if you're interested.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to be on a ship for a long time. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I just know you like being outside, so
I do.
let's
go.
We can plan on that.
So
Back to the tavern. Not the tavern, the inn.
you're going back to the inn?
Yes.
Okay. So Jax heads back to the tavern and reconvenes with Luke Heel.
Dude, Luke. Oh, never mind. I was okay.
And he sits back down and all the gold is gone. And Jax doesn't think anything of it.
No.
No.
Wow.
He sits down and says, well, that was a disaster.
Man, you're telling me I'm stuffed, man. I don't know if I'll be able to sleep tonight. I feel like I'm gonna pass something through my some sort of something out of my body.
Well,
I don't know what that's gonna be, but it's gonna be something.
I'm glad you enjoyed yourself.
Yeah, man. Thanks for the gold. Yeah, I kind of went a little bit overboard. I haven't eaten that much in a long time, so I don't feel so good.
I mean, if you need to throw up, I mean, we can.
Oh, I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna need to be doing all that.
But
Yeah, it was.
but yeah, don't mention it. It's fine. And you get the vibe that he's very like he's there, but he's not. Just the same as kind of Eira was a minute ago.
What does Luke Heel pick up on this? He does.
Yeah,
Since okay,
your passive insight
okay,
will
okay.
allow that.
You good, man? What's going on? Is she okay? You okay? What is all this? What's going on?
She's not okay, and
Why, man? Why can't we just all be okay? We're
I
all
mean,
here. We're all still together. Well, I don't know if we're all still together anymore, but
Are
We're
we
here.
sure that
So-
Luke Keel didn't go to the bathroom?
So Jax's passive insight is 18. Are you like? Have you been drinking a little bit?
a little bit, man. You know,
Yeah.
I had that one lager with that one meal and the venison. I was like, man, that's some good stuff. I asked the bartender, and he brought over another one. It was just as good, if not better. And they brought over another one. It's like, keep them coming.
You
Before I knew it, my gold was gone.
You also ate roasted swan with pear turnover and another, and it was served with a lager.
Yeah, man, that was weird. I never had swan before. It kind of just tastes like chicken. It was good. I didn't know what the pear was really there for. It didn't really have a lot of flavor, but you know, it was just a pear. It
A
was
pear
cool.
turnover is a dessert. It's a type
Yeah,
of dessert.
but it's
like a pie.
It's like, you know, it
Ish.
just doesn't really have a lot of
Yeah.
taste, a lot of flavor. You know,
You should
it's got
hiccup,
a weird like some, huh?
hiccup in between words.
like a Looney Tunes cartoon.
Like a,
uh,
I don't know, the pear
Oh,
didn't have any flavor to it. Makes you sound more drunk.
Oh,
so, well, I'm glad that you're having a good time. At least somebody should.
yeah, man. It's just we're just all here, just vibing, just trying to have a good time. You know, I don't know why everyone's so sad and weird and depressed and leaving and just off doing their weird thing with their weird boyfriends that have hemorrhoids.
It's a good
I don't know
change
what all
of
that's
pace
about.
to see you like this. I appreciate it.
Yeah, dude. You should. Do you want something to eat? You hungry? Want a beer?
You know what?
Cocktail? Something?
Fuck it. And he like waves his hand to like gesture for the server to come back over.
That's the Jax that I was looking for, baby.
And he orders a bunch of alcohol.
There we go. Think you can handle this? Tap me in if you don't think so. I can take on some more. God, I wish Don was here.
Meanwhile,
He like says that out loud because he's not like super like aware of like the fact that like what he's thinking is what he's actually saying out loud.
meanwhile, now, cutting back to Verity, you and Ammar are laying on a bedroll. You're laying on his chest. And he has his kind of like arm around you. And he kisses your forehead.
Just gonna lay there in silence. Just lay there in silence.
And he says, there's something I should tell you.
Okay.
You brought up the proposal earlier. Was that you trying to give me an answer?
Yes.
And was that your answer?
She looks at him and says, "Yes, it is."
Oh, shit. Okay. It's. I'm happy to hear that, but it's my mother. She, after my father's passing, she's the brood mother now of our people, and she's arranged for me to marry someone in a brood that exists in the forest beyond Green Valley. I didn't know how to tell you. I thought I'd have more time to figure this out and not go through with it, and I just... I've been in a very hard place about it. I didn't... it's about extending our bloodline and to extend us beyond the underwater caves, and I just...
Okay.
That's...
No, okay.
just okay. That's all I'm sorry.
No, I mean, 2 years too late, right? It's okay, really.
It's not, though. I love you, and I don't know how to go against my own culture and people. But I want to be with you. I don't know what to do.
At the end of the day, we do have to make hard decisions.
But not...
You are sovereign now. Is this what's best for your people, this marriage?
It's not even about what's best for the people. I don't even know if I have a choice. She's forcing me into this, and I've never even met this person. And I've known you for so long. Isn't that what's love is supposed to be, and that's what marriage is supposed to be. I learned that. I mean, I was human once. I understand the concept of marriage, but I just... The way our culture is, it's different, I guess. But that shouldn't mean that I have to adhere to something that I don't believe in. And I want to love you.
Is there... So there's no way out of it?
I've been trying to figure that out ever since all of this happened, and my mother tried to spring that upon me during the funeral, and it's something that I...
During the funeral?
She's, you know,
I
very political. It's...
She sounds like, part of my language, but she sounds like a bitch
She's...
for doing that.
You wouldn't be far off. She never really ever approved of you and I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Nate, I might have, I mean, Eira might know some lawyers. Or I don't know, like she's an heir of a sovereign heir. Maybe she could give you pointers. I don't, sorry, that was stupid of me to suggest it.
And as he kind of adjusts and kind of pulls away a little bit. And I'm so sorry. I should have told you sooner.
Like I said, it's okay.
It's not.
You can only do what you're in control of.
I guess you're right. But
Now, that doesn't mean that you can't or you don't have to stop fighting it. I mean, how much sway does she have over a sovereign?
I guess it's... Give me a history check.
Ooh, baby, 24.
So just as the same as you know, like the term, the Crimson Sovereign, the brood mother is the brood mother of like a group of vampires. Essentially, is that of the like the mother of a king in like the kind of monarchy type style of things. So she has sway of the government, but she can't necessarily make like decisions like the king would. She has a whole lot of high influence on what would be the like king's council equivalency in this kind of scenario. And it's very much so, as far as like the arranged marriage constituents is concerned, it's it's not uncommon in vampire culture to essentially kind of arrange that when there is a new ruler put in place that is not betrothed. So she has a significant amount of say.
Cool, I just need to go back in time. Player says that. Verity does
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Oh, Verity doesn't? Okay.
I'm gonna keep fighting it as much as I can, but it's how do you become the ruler of an entire group of people and go against the entire culture that they exist upon?
That's a tough answer. That's a tough question to ask. Baby steps. Slow change over time. You have a lot of that.
I don't want to hurt you if there isn't a way out of this.
I mean, you have my sending stone. It's not like, unless you want to, chuck it out in the ocean real quick. Not like you can't reach out to me and we can't talk. At any point.
He kind of, he's like sits up and he kind of is like staring kind of out into the water, kind of like through whatever like doorway of the like housing there. And you see that his like eyes are kind of fixed like on like the mountain peak that's kind of sticking out in the middle of the water. And
What do you see?
I see a prison. I don't see a life that's worth living if it's not with you, and
Don't say that.
I just don't know how I'm supposed to go back about my duties and knowing that I'm forced to walk a road that I cannot control. If I'm supposed to be the ruler, why do I feel like I have no say at all?
There's always fine print in any contract. Find the loopholes, no matter how small.
Think outside the box, right?
Yes.
And that's where we're going to end for this session.
Yes!
Thank you so much for joining us here at Off the Beaten Quest. We thank you so much, so much, Pocketbard. And as always, we will see you in the next episode.
Bye!
Bye.